Code equivalence utilities. This is in the Wolfram language Packlet repository. Utilities for testing code equivalence. Code equivalence utilities is a collection of Wolfram language functions that can be used to test if different pieces of code are equivalent without the need for evaluation. This allows comparison of unevaluated expressions that may have non-deterministic outputs, for example, random values, dates, etc. This Packlet represents the underlying technology that powers several automated code grading systems, such as the online exercises for the elementary introduction for Wolfram language and Wolfram challenges. To install this Packlet in your Wolfram language environment, evaluate this code. Packlet install. Now I think I already have this installed, but let me create a save as. Let me create a GitHub repository for this real quick. Okay, go to GitHub and create a new repository for code equivalence utilities. Oh, I didn't think it would copy all that. Okay. Code equivalence utilities documentation. Using code equivalence utilities to program to become better at programming. Okay, initialize this repository with a readme. Create repository. Okay, publish repository. I don't want to keep this code private. Okay, let me save this. And GitHub code equivalence utilities. Install. Okay, so this would be a document where I install the Packlet, install code equivalence utilities Packlet. Okay, now let me make a commit this and push. Okay, so we're gonna do Packlet install. Looks like it's taking a while. The kernel is not responding to a dynamic evaluation. You may either choose to abort. I'll continue waiting, but okay. Packlet guide. Equivalence to the Wolfram language code can be defined in many ways. The methods used by code equivalence utilities attempt to determine intentional equivalence by transforming expressions into a canonical representation. Equivalence testing. Code equivalent Q. Test if two unevaluated expressions are equivalent. Code equivalent Q. Code equivalent Q. Expression 1, expression 2 yields true if expression 1 and expression 2 are equivalent computations and yields false otherwise. Details. Code equivalent Q attempts to determine if expression 1 and expression 2 are equivalent by transforming them into a canonical representation using a set of replacement rules. Check if two expressions are equivalent. Code equivalent Q random integer mapped over range 5, array random integer 5, true. Equivalence testing does not need to rely on evaluation. Code equivalent Q pause table range true. Code equivalent Q properties and relations. Test two expressions for equivalence. Get additional information out of the test using equivalence test data. Timing, same queue, 2 canonical form, 1, 2 canonical form, 2, same queue, false, canonical forms, whole complete, equivalent queue true, compare directly using make canonical form and same queue. Darn it, I'm gonna have to abort. Cannot open. Okay, is it installed? Maybe, I don't know, maybe that's the issue. Packlet find code equal that's weird. Okay, well, let me just check the current version. Does it say the current version? GitHub link. Release 2.04. Okay, so I have the latest version. Alright, let me go back over here. I don't want to open too many pages. Okay. This Packlet automated grading systems. Okay, basic examples. Test if two expressions are equivalent. Okay, wait, there's an example notebook. Download notebook. This will be faster. Let me download it to here. Test if two expressions are equivalent. Man, did that actually evaluate? I'm not sure if that evaluated. Here, let me see the full cell expression. Whoa. Okay, how about just this one? Why? Okay, well, let me test this myself. Code equivalent Q. Did I do it right? Code needs from code equivalent utilities. True. Wait, I have a shadow definition. Code equivalent Q. Let me see here. Make canonical form random integer over range 10. Table random value discrete uniform distribution. Make canonical form array random integer 10. These are directly comparable, yeah. So if I do that, make canonical form random integer over range 10. Oh no. True. Scope, equivalence test data. Okay. Yeah, I'll evaluate this example. Equivalence test data array random real 1000 random real over range 1000. Oh, I opened a documentation page. Oh, never mind. Okay. View the sequence of transformations. Trace true. Okay, so let's do it with this. Trace. I think it's trace true. Okay, and then we can put that in a column form, so column. Okay, so array random integer. Then I'll do that with random integer over range 10. Convert a canonical representation to a normal expression. And then I can do from canonical form. Okay, don't want trace this time. From canonical form. Evaluate. And it should say okay, just do release, hold, and all of that. Need examples. Here is a list of expressions, some of which are equivalent to others. Okay, expression equals hold form table. Find the sequence of transformations for each expression. Let me put this over here. Short traces equals most at to canonical form trace true map over expressions. Alright, now let me do paths. My mouse keeps falling. I can figure out a way to. Okay, paths equals graph directed edge at triple at partition 2 1 at traces. Combine the graphs. Graph equals graph union at paths. What is this? I'm curious, what if I do graph sum paths graph sum sequence at paths. It looks pretty similar. Okay, equivalent expressions converge to the same connected component. Now what I'm gonna do, highlight graph paths. What if I do the same thing but add vertex labels? Vertex labels. Mathematica, this might be kind of messy. Okay, yeah, that's way too messy. Grouped equals group by expressions to canonical form. Table form key value map. Reverse at list grouped. So let's see here. So table I5J I plus 2. Wait, I have to go do something. Okay. Let's see here. So table I5J I plus 2 and table constant I plus 2 I5 are code equivalent. Array range 5 3 and range mapped over range 3 7 are code equivalent. And first rest range mapped over range 10 and table J I are both code equivalent. That's cool. But I wonder if you can make a function where you have expressions and what does this key value map do? I guess this is a let's make that a code cell. Well, anyways, that's cool. Okay, let me make sure I save this. Okay, I'm gonna stop recording.